Good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are having a great day. As you can see, I am super blessed down at the beach at the moment. Sun is just rising behind us there, and it's just such a beautiful, fresh, very fresh morning. Just removed my gloves, so out on a beautiful morning walk. Good morning, Sandra. Lovely to have you on here, honey. And today's topic, jumping in with, are you feeling frustrated with perhaps, good morning, Amna. Great to have you on, darling. Loads of love to you. It is so beautiful down here, Sandra. It's so gorgeous. My heart just seriously pops and bursts with so much love. Hey, Christy. Lovely to have you on, darling. Down at the beach, it's so beautiful, just so beautiful. So jumping in with today's topic is all about, like, if you're feeling frustrated with, perhaps you've tried to make some changes or you're in the process of making changes and you're feeling frustrated, you kind of feel like you're butting your head up against the wall and doing the same thing again and again and again. And I guess the biggest message around this is, guess what, you're human, and guess what, it's freaking completely normal, right? So often we judge ourselves so harshly with feeling like we should, or we need to, or we have to, or, you know, why can't I change this thing about myself, or why do I keep doing that same thing? And often the story that we tell that, hey, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing this thing, actually keeps us in the same story and keeps creating the same reality of what we're actually living as well. Hey, Davo, great to have you on. Hey, Lynn, lovely to see you on here. So can definitely be really challenging in terms of how we keep showing up and what we keep creating for ourselves. Now remember, the body is a puppet. The mind is always instructing the body how to show up, or how we are, or who we are. And so the words I am, so like when we say, I'm doing that thing again, like you're literally instructing your body to go do that thing again, or I can't do this, or like it's all of those particular thoughts, it's all those particular things. And a concept that I've been playing with, which I actually heard on Joe Dispenza's, one of Joe Dispenza's videos, was literally, I am who I practice to be. And oh my God, I just love that. Doesn't that take the pressure off things? Like, doesn't that ease you into feeling more flow, feeling more ease in your life, feeling like, hey, I can just practice this, as opposed to need to get it right or need to be perfect at this all the time. Often when we're feeling a bit low in energy, particularly if we're physically tired or physically exhausted, we're trying to implement changes. Perhaps you've had a lot of change going on in your life, or perhaps you're moving through a great deal of change, and often it's very overwhelming, because remember that all those neural pathways in the brain, they're like a program, they're like a CD that's been crafted all the time. And so and when I say crafted all the time, like a lot of that has been implemented or input in there between 0 and 7. And often we're actually even quite unconscious around our own particular programming, or what our beliefs are about ourselves, and how that's actually affecting us, or how we're actually thinking about ourselves. And so number one is to get really conscious of, number one, how am I showing up, or what is actually happening, what's going on for me, and number two, what do I want instead? And then number three, who do I need to practice to be in order to be able to create that? Hey, Kate, great to have you on. And knowing full well, like the vibration, so in terms of your emotional state, is 100% creating your reality. Now, I'm not going to go into like quantum physics, swapping arms over here. Oh, now we're going to have issues with the sun. I'll come around here. Quantum physics, I'm not going to go into how quantum physics works. It is absolutely incredible. It's completely subjective. It is not objective. Therefore, we create our reality with our thoughts, but more so with how we're actually attracting everything to us through the experience of how we're actually feeling every single day. So if we're feeling frustrated, we're going to be attracting more things that create frustration. If we're feeling depressed, or perhaps powerless in an inability to be able to change our circumstances, the universe is so loving that it will keep bringing those same circumstances to us again, saying, this is who you are, this is who you're saying that you are, this is the experience that you keep creating. And that's where we can kind of feel like we're banging our head against the wall, because we actually haven't shifted or haven't pivoted emotionally. And often that's the very reason why we want things to change, is so that we can feel better. In fact, it's pretty much the whole reason, I think. And certainly a lot of studies suggest the same, in terms of, you know, like I want to feel better in my relationship, or I want to have more money, or I want my business to be going better, or I want to feel better in my body, simply because I want to be able to feel better. Now, the ability to be able to master your emotions and transcend your current experience or your current reality, basically ignoring it, not necessarily sticking your head in the sand, because it's not that you don't want to be taking action, it's just taking action from that same place of thinking, that same place of feeling, will continue to recreate the same circumstances. So if you feel burnt out or you feel exhausted, often the mind's like, you can't rest, you can't be lazy, you've got to keep going. So it's this same feeling of feeling like I can never rest, I can never, and which again keeps creating the same circumstances. And if there's a belief tied in, you know, I can't rest because then I can't have money, or, you know, all of that stuff, often that's going to trip us up again at an even deeper level. Hey Kieran, great to have you on. Hey Roz, lovely to see you on here, darling. And Roz, look, I'm at the beach, knowing full well you love to ride your trike to the beach. So this is really, really important, the ability to be able to master our emotional state. Now, this is where I am who I practice to be comes in, because again, when we make it lighthearted, when we make it fun, hey, I'm just practicing this thing, it takes the pressure off, guys. It takes this pressure off, oh my God, I failed again, or I haven't got there, or I'm not, you know, I'm not being confident, or like I remember one beautiful person that I was working with, and I've had this experience myself, actually I'll use myself as a better example. Often with when we have a lot of creative energy, there can be a lot of insecurity that comes up with that, and anybody that is like even slightly creative will know exactly what I'm talking about, because we have this beautiful energy, this beautiful kind of creative flow. And in fact, we're all creative, we all have that creative life force energy. It's in fact, you know, that's the energy that creates babies and creates miracles in our world. Hey Adam, great to have you on. So this is really important in terms of being able to unleash that creative flow, but often that can come with the vulnerability or the fear that other people are going to judge me, or other people are going to think that's silly, because we're literally showing the heart of who we are. And so when we're stuck in that, then we're feeling this insecurity. Now, if you're wanting to be more confident, we have to practice confidence. We have to practice and ask ourselves, well, if I did already feel confident, if this was no longer an issue, if this was already resolved, how would I be showing up? And then that is the switch. That's the quantum leap that we want to be taking. Literally to shift and start to change that in order to master our emotions at that deeper level without needing reality to change first. And one of the biggest things that trips every human being up, including myself, like 50 million times, is needing others, or the belief that you need others to change, or others should be different so you can feel okay. And again, you're going to keep lining yourself up, even if it's with a different person, and you may have experienced this, same relationship, totally different person, because you haven't changed the emotional stuff that's actually going on inside that keeps attracting that same circumstance. Or you might have experienced that in a job where it's like, oh, I'm going to leave this job because this job is irritating me and it's annoying me, or this is not what I want to be doing, or I'm wasting my time here, I'm not valued, I'm not appreciated. Whatever the story is, often we're wanting to change that. So we think by leaving the job, we're going to create a different circumstance. And then 6 months later, you're frustrated because you're experiencing literally the same thing again, just in a different situation, but it kind of feels like exactly the same situation. And this is where a lot of people kind of get tripped up, because they think that they've got to keep changing the external circumstance as opposed to come back and change the internal experience first. Oh, I've just dropped my glove in the water. That's kind of funny in itself. You know, like, we've got to change the internal first and ignore kind of reality. Now, when we change the internal, often you will find, or what I found in my experience, is that you will get some prompts around how to handle the situation or how to handle the current experience in a slightly different way. And that's where the true power comes in, because it's not about burying your head in the sand. It's not about ignoring your problems. It's not about, if there's no money coming in, of sitting there and just going, oh yes, I'm just going to meditate and all this money is going to drop in my lap. No, it's not like that. It is definitely about aligning yourself first, though, with the feeling of abundance or with the feeling of having more money. And often, people can argue and go, no, but this is the reality that I'm living. And I'm not arguing with the reality that you're living. I've done it enough times myself. It's like, no, it feels real, and it is real because you're experiencing that. But until we actually start to shift and change the internal without needing the external to change first, that's where the true power lies. And I think that's where that joy, that fun of practicing really, really comes in. Hey, Rachel, great to have you on. Oh, Rochelle, sorry. I'm calling you the wrong name. So the art of practicing, when we think about like the 4 levels of learning or the 4 levels of consciousness, is really about that next level stage of at first, we're unconsciously incompetent, so we don't know that we don't know. That's bliss, because we don't know, so we're just in it, we're just doing it, we're just not even aware. The second state is pain, literally because we become consciously aware that we're incompetent. Oh, I don't know how to do that particular thing. The next stage is effort, simply because now we are consciously becoming competent. It's like learning to drive a car, when you've got to think through every single step. Oh, I've got to put my foot on the clutch, I've got to click my seatbelt in, I've got to check my blind spots, I've got to put my blinker on, I've got to change gears, like all those things that you're actually consciously thinking about when you first learn to drive a car. It's exactly the same when you go, perhaps if you're wanting to change your emotional reactivity in a relationship, you will have to consciously stop, you'll have to consciously breathe, you'll have to consciously ask yourself a new question: what is the outcome that I'm wanting, or how do I want this to shift or change or be different? And then from that place, now you're consciously applying effort, and it is really, honestly, where the real work is done, because it's through that process that now you're actually developing new neural pathways, new neural connections that help you to establish that behavior before it becomes autopilot for you. Just the same as jumping in the car, you've done it enough times, you've practiced it enough times, that now you can get there fast and quick and easy. It's one of the reasons why I can do gratitude or do appreciation so fast these days. I can literally find anything within 2 seconds to really start to get a sense of appreciation for. Hey Gib, lovely to have you on. Hey Laura, lovely to see you on here. Can literally jump to that stage very, very quickly because I've practiced the feeling of appreciation, the feeling of gratitude so many times, because I literally do it every single day through my gratitude journal, and I practice the feeling. It's not just empty words on a piece of paper going, I'm grateful for. And the more that you practice a particular behavior, the more that you practice a particular emotion, then the faster and quicker and easier it is to get there. And before you know it, now you're actually unconsciously competent, meaning you just do that thing without even thinking about it. And that's when it becomes part of just who you are. It becomes an innate part of who you're being. So this might be like for exercise, where it's just like, yeah, I just get up and I go for a walk, or I go work out, or I go take care of my body, or I just eat healthy. That's just who I am. That's just what I do. That's when we've reached literally that 4th stage, where all the neural connections are in place, and you've got a quick, easy highway in your brain to go there. So you get there super fast. You're not trying to build the highway, which is the stage 3 of where the effort is actually applied. And it doesn't matter what situation that you're in, you could apply this in any situation. Hey Melissa, great to have you on. Hey Daryl, where it really does make such a huge difference in terms of taking yourself through those stages until a behavior becomes automatic, until a behavior becomes part of who you are. And in that case, then we are who we've practiced to be. So I hope that's been helpful. If you've just jumped on, you might want to jump back to the start, and I'll flick the camera around if I can remember how to do that, and give you guys just a beautiful view of what I'm actually looking at while I'm talking to you guys this morning. It is just so stunning down here. I'm just down at the south coast, reconnecting again with the beautiful waves, and just really enjoying being at the beach. So just been such a time of restoration and healing for myself as well. So have fun practicing. Now, if you are stuck around emotional mastery, if you are finding, thanks Tarek, it's beautiful here, absolutely stunning. I hope you're having a great day where you are. Or evening, it's probably nighttime there, and it is beautiful. Thanks, Roz. So if you are stuck around emotional mastery, or perhaps you've been feeling absolutely burnout and you're not sure how to get yourself out of that, the same things keep showing up, you feel like you're beating your head against the wall and you really feel like you're absolutely stuck, definitely reach out to me. I have a couple of amazing programs that can really help to shift and change that. But before we talk about any of that, let's check in, see, number one, where you're at, what's going on for you, and if and how I might be able to help you move through that or from that as well. So have an amazing day, guys. Enjoy your Friday or Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Enjoy your time, and yeah, have a great evening, day, night. Loads of love. Bye for now.